So my name is Jimmy Guang. I'm with the Office of Drainage and Stormwater Management. I'm the statewide culvert inspection program coordinator. And today I'm going to talk about the culvert inspection management system, also known as the CIMS. So what is CIMS? It's an innovative and standardized approach for mapping, inventory, and inspecting Caltrans drainage assets. It's what we use here to inventory and assess our culverts in the state highway system. It was developed through a partnership between the Culvert Inspection Program and CIMS Group. They're a GIS consultant. It took about a year to get the program up and running, and then we finally went live in February of 2023. So it's a fairly new system, about 2 years old, coming up on 2 years. What does CIMS allow? It allows users to record, store, monitor, modify, analyze, and generate reports on culvert assets and inspection data. This functionality is facilitated through a centralized web accessible culvert geodatabase and GIS interface integrated within the Caltrans Esri environment. So why CIMS? Why did we need CIMS? Well, prior to CIMS, we had 13 different databases. We had one database for each district, and we had one at headquarters. So this led to a lot of different data processing issues. You know, we had every district would have their own database. They would process their data. Then they would send all this data to headquarters and we would have to process it. So it made it kind of hard because a lot of times the data didn't match. So simple things just like reporting and dashboards. Our numbers didn't match. Headquarters would often have different numbers than the districts. And this led to a little bit of conflict here and there. So we needed a centralized approach, and that's what CIMS is. It's a solution that everybody uses. It's a database that all districts and headquarters use, a single database. So all the inspection and all the data, we can see each other. So I can see what the districts are doing. The districts can see what I'm doing. So there's a lot of transparency and visibility within the system. It enhances efficiency and effectiveness because we can all see what each other are doing. Districts can see what other districts are doing. And likewise, I can see what the districts are doing as well. So what were some of the challenges? Like I said earlier, there were 13 different databases. So we had a lot of legacy data, a lot of historical data that we needed to bring into the new database. So we had a lot of migration issues. You know, every district would keep their data a little differently, so we had to standardize the data. And we did this, we migrated all the data while we were trying to train everybody. So this is kind of a little tip, a little advice. If you ever are going to a new system and trying to migrate data, do that first before you start training everybody in the system, and it'll save you some time and some headache. What is another challenge? We had new equipment, software, and training initiative. So we had inspectors doing everything the same way for 20 years. They would use Trimble devices, survey equipment, Pathfinder software to log inspections. Now we totally overhauled the system. Everybody's using mobile devices. We're using iPads to collect data. We're not really processing as much, but we're QA/QCing data in new software, ArcGIS. And so it's a totally new system. It took a while to get everybody up and running, but now they're doing great. So what are some of the improvements? Again, it's a single statewide database. The QA/QC process is a lot easier. We do it through ArcGIS. We use software to do that. It enhances collaboration. We have real-time access to culvert inspection data. So when inspectors are in the field, they collect data. As soon as they submit it, the people in the office, the coordinators will see this data. So it's a quick transfer of data. You don't have to wait for inspectors to come in from the field, process their data, then look at it. You know, you can see it right as it's happening, and at least a better collaboration between the field and the office. So how does CIMS operate? Well, it's through ArcGIS Pro, the ArcGIS application. So ArcGIS is the main desktop software we use, and then there's the three mobile apps: Workforce, Field Maps, and Survey 123. We provide role-based access coordinators. They have rights to ArcGIS Pro and all the other apps. And field workers or inspectors, they have rights to Workforce, Field Maps, and Survey 123. Typically, the coordinators will work in ArcGIS Pro, and the inspectors will work in the field apps: Workforce, Field Maps, and Survey 123. So the workflow for the CIP, well, district coordinators, they set work assignments based on HQ targets or district needs. A district need can be, let's say there's a project coming through an area and all the culvert data is pretty old and we need to get new data. So we'll have the inspectors go out and inspect that. A HQ target is pretty much based on a 5 to 7 year inspection cycle. So yearly, we break their total number of culverts up, and this is their target they have to meet. So that's how they assign work. Then coordinators, they'll use the Workforce web app to manage and assign tasks to teams at inspection sites. From there, the inspectors will open up the mobile app of Workforce, and they'll find their locations, their queues, and their assignments, and then they'll know where to go to work. After this, field inspectors will use Field Maps. It's an app to inventory and map our assets. After an asset is inventory and mapped, they will open up Survey 123. And survey 123 is used to conduct the actual inspection to give it a overall health condition and condition rating for the culverts and treatments. So after this is completed by the inspectors, they'll send the data in, and the coordinators will open up ArcGIS and they will QA/QC all field data. They'll submit this to the statewide database, and then now the data will be able for everybody to consume within Caltrans. So that's kind of the workflow. So a quick recap: inspector duties. They use workforce to identify work locations and culverts that need to be inspected. They employ field maps to inventory and map existing culverts. They utilize Survey 123 to conduct inspections and provide overall health conditions of culverts and treatments. Coordinator duties, they use workforce to assign tasks and assess assignments to inspectors. They utilize ArcGIS to QA/QC field data and post and reconcile data to the statewide database. They monitor inspection performance metrics throughout the year, and they ensure inspection targets are met by the end of the fiscal year. So what are some of the advantages of CIMS? Well, it's enhanced visibility and transparency. Now we're all in one database. We can all see each other's work. We can all see each other's data. Districts can see each other's work. Headquarters can see district data. So whatever you do, we can see it. Everybody can see it. It's not like you're hiding your work in one database, then we got to process it to see it again. So it really enhances the visibility and transparency of the whole program. It improves collaboration between the field and office, like I said earlier. As soon as data is collected in the field, we see it right away. So, you can talk in real time, you can talk between the field and the office to, rectify any problems that are happening in real time. It's a standardized methodology. It's one database. We all have to input data the same way. Prior to this, districts would conduct their inspections differently. They would keep their data a little differently. They can still conduct inspections differently, but the data has to come in the same way. The data has to go through all the data checks through the apps. So it kind of standardizes the process. Now everybody pretty much on the same page with how they conduct inspections and how the data is input into the system. So that standardized methodology really helps us moving forward. So what are some of the applications? Let's see. So like I said, this is workforce. Workforce is used by the coordinators and the inspectors. So it's a web app for the coordinators. They'll go in workforce, they'll set assignments, these little green right here on this side. These little green bubbles are areas where assignments are, where culverts are that need to be inspected. From there, when the inspectors start their day, they can open up workforce on the web app and see where they need to go and see what culverts need to be inspected and have their work planned out for the day. So this is optional to use, but about half the districts use this, but it's just another way for another way to set up your work, your itinerary, how you want to go accomplish these inspections within your district. The next app is Field Maps. Field Maps is used to inventory and map our assets. It contains a physical characteristics, the things that don't change over time, like the length of a culvert, the material of the culvert, the diameter, things that don't change, that don't degrade over time. And so the cool thing about field maps is we can work with offline maps. So let me kind of go over this. This is a field map, so a couple screenshots from field maps. And within field maps, there's a CIMS field worker map. This is a map of the whole database with all our assets. You really can't use this to go out and conduct inspections. So what inspectors will do, they'll take a snippet out of it, a snapshot in time of a certain area, and we'll call that area as well. So the snapshot just has a little bit of the whole database within their app. And now they can come out to this location and they don't need cell service. You'll see yourself on the map. You'll see yourself on the map, and all you need is GPS, not self-service. And from within field maps, you can do all kind of things. You can edit systems, you can delete systems, you can add systems, modify systems. You can do a whole bunch of things to inventory and map our culverts. From field maps, when you're done inventorying an asset, you can open up Survey 123, which is our inspection form, which is right here. So Survey 123, it's what we use to conduct our inspection, things that change over time. So like I said earlier, here's field maps. They have an end treatment. And when they have this end treatment finally logged into the system, they can open up Survey 123 from here. So Survey 123, they don't have the latest form, so it's going to download the latest form. So here's our form. And a lot of this information is pre-populated from the information in field maps. So county route, post mile, these things, the information is already there because it's in field maps. System photos, we're required to take photos of every culvert we inspect. more information, activity date, and then here are things you fill out. Completed by maintenance crew. It's a general inspection. End treatment is what you're inspecting, the number. The type of inspection, it's going to be exterior. And this is the meat and potatoes. These are our attributes. These are what we rate to give it a final score. So waterway accuracy is 1. We're going to call that good. Alignment inspection. And now these are sample pictures. They're not pictures of the actual culvert. Again, joint inspection, we'll call that good. Geometric shape, we'll call that good. Stream, call that good. And slope inspection. So what survey 1, 2, 3, it'll take all those attribute ratings and provide a health score and condition overall. That's calculated separately. The inspector is just required to rate the attributes. And from the attributes, we'll auto-calculate the condition rating and health score. So that's survey 1, 2, 3. After these two, so after field maps and survey 1, 2, 3 are conducted, this goes to ArcGIS Pro. This is what the coordinator uses to QA/QC. So ArcGIS, we kind of use it's branch versioning. It's where multiple people can work in one system and make edits and not affect the default, the main database until a coordinator actually QA/QCs and posts it to the database. So let's say this is the main database, the default database is what we'll call it. And through ArcGIS, and a coordinator will open up that person's version, that inspector's version, and that inspector's version might be right here. And so say this inspector is working on this area right here. These are where the changes are made. So it's the coordinator's responsibility to kind of look over this and QA/QC this, make sure all the information is correct, make sure everything's in the right spot. And when they decide that it's good, they will post this version to the default database, and then that data will become available statewide. So it's called branch versioning, and that's how we get the info, the new data into the system. These are our tables. Activity table. This is inspection data. It's tabular data. These 4 culvert system, culvert line, culvert, and end treatments. These are feature classes. So these are GPS data. So these come out on the you see these on the map, the end treatment data. Now, one thing we have an overnight process. The latest inspection data will append to these feature classes through an overnight process. So you'll see the information from the latest inspection in the feature classes through an overnight process, and it's only the latest activity that appends over. So that's kind of how we use ArcGIS. And then after everything's QA/QC'd and posted to the statewide database, the default database, you can see everything in the statewide web viewer. That's right here. So let me kind of get out here. So anybody can use this within Caltrans, as long as you're a Caltrans employee. So right here is here's our legend. When you come back out, you see the county and district boundaries. As you zoom in closer, you start to see more detail. These are all our systems within Caltrans. Then you get a little bit closer, you start to see more detail. Now I start to see the culverts, the end treatments, and everything like that. So you can see right here, here's our symbology. Good, fair, poor for the end treatments. Good, fair, poor for the culverts. You can see the condition rating, and then we have not evaluated culverts, culverts pending inspection, ditches, slotted drains, and all of the records. In here, you can also see a lot of things. So right here, we have the system. This is a newly inspected system. You can click on the system. You can see the system information, county route, post mile. You can see the asset. You can see the asset information. It's a culvert. It's active, the health score. Again, the physical properties. It's a circular RCP culvert, the length, the diameter, what side of the road it's on, all kind of good information here. Then we have the activity information. This is the latest inspection. So what we've seen recently was a video inspection. Recommended action is debris removal. You can see a comment provided by the inspector, and then the attribute ratings right here. So that's that. And also a cool thing about this is I can click on this. I can, oh shoot. Give me a second here. Why is it not? Okay, here it goes. So I can view. So within here, I can view the attachments. So this is data from the last inspection. And within here, I can go to this activity folder, look at the latest inspection, and go to the photo, and then I can see photos of the culvert. You can see all the photos from the most recent inspection. We also video. We put a crawler through every culvert, and you can see these videos. Here's another video of kind of let me fast forward this long video. So here's the rover going through the culvert, and the rover will stop if it's a concrete culvert. It will also inspect the joints and everything you can see inside. So it's pretty nice. They're expensive rovers. They capture what we need to capture, and then it gives the designers an idea of what's going on inside the culvert, which is pretty nice. So these are all pictures of inside the culvert. If you want an above ground view, you can come to, maybe this is a DI right here. What's going on? And then we can view this attachment. Activity folder. Oh, wait a minute. Let me. I'm sorry, I don't have the right thing selected.
Yeah, that's okay, Jimmy. We realize you're doing a live demo here.
So right here, you can see this is a picture of a DI. You can get a topside view, good for a designer. You know, this is great. If I was a designer and I had this, it's pretty nice if you have pretty recent information, like a inspection within a year. You know, you can at least start preliminarily designing instead of getting out there. Now, all designers, they should go out and field review, but this gives you a good general, you know, what the condition probably is. You know, if it's a fairly new inspection. So that's what we use. Statewide web viewer. What are some other things we have? Let's see. Can't. So this is our CIMS website. So if you need more information, you can always come here about the CIMS program. This is training, data, and technology. But I use this a lot. Metrics. These are our dashboards. So this is the statewide dashboard. This is kind of a bird's eye view of the whole program as a whole. You can see how many culverts we have statewide. You can see good, fair, poor condition. You can see how it is broken up by district. We can see the material. We have a lot of CSP metal culverts and a lot of concrete culverts. You can also kind of pick the district if I only want to see District 2. And then it gives you the breakdown for the district of material, things like that. It's a nice, you know, management can look at this and see where the districts are at in total. There's also one I use right here. I can't get to it. But, so this is how we kind of keep track of the progress of the CIP. So on top, these are inspections, and on the bottom, these are cleanings. So I can see how the districts are doing throughout the fiscal year. I can check annually how they are, where they are, and what the target is. I can check quarterly. You know, they're doing pretty good quarterly. I can even check monthly. Right here, I can see where they're at with their cleanings. I can cycle through here, see how far they're completed by monthly. On the bottom, this is cleanings. We also keep track of our cleanings, SB1 cleanings, and they're down here. So that's pretty nice. And then what else do we have? We also have SSRS reporting. It's a SQL service reporting services. So this is a direct connection to the authoritative data. It's a direct connection to the tables within ArcGIS. So if you pull a report from here, it gives you the data right there, right then at that time, the live data. So you access this through here. We have all kind of reports. Let me go back one. So this is the main page. We have CIP reports. We have cleaning reports. This is a report I use a lot, the shop table. Let's just. So I submit this to asset management twice monthly. It has, you know, all our culvert data, basically all the culverts, every culvert within the state highway system, county route, post mile, the culvert ID gives you, you know, the health assessment, the physical properties, the length, all the stuff they can use to program these culverts into projects, the condition, and all that. So it's a pretty nice reporting tool. We can make different reports for districts if people want to see things and have quick access to our database in tabular format. They can come here and download reports. Let's see. So that's kind of our program in a nutshell. This is our group at headquarters, and thank you for taking the time to listen.